The single biggest reason you're not getting high-paying clients has nothing to do with your skills, your offer, or your outreach strategy. And this has everything to do with the fact that your subconscious is afraid of getting clients in the first place. And I know you're probably thinking, what are you even talking about? I'm not afraid, I want more clients, I want more money. But you're wrong, and let me prove it to you. You're afraid of reaching out to prospects because deep down you already expect them to say no before you even send the message. You're afraid of jumping on a sales calls because even if you're prepared, you freeze up the moment call starts. And you're even afraid of actually landing clients because then you have to deliver, but what if you mess it up? And that's not motivation for more money or more clients. That's a fear wearing a mask. And I know this because I was in the exact same position not too long ago. I was more scared of disappointing a client than I was being brokey. Think about it for a second. And you also heard a lot of gurus says that the real fix is buying a new equipment or new AI tools or investing in someone's mentorships, especially theirs, but none of that will actually help you because you're not changing, you're just spending money on equipment, tools, and mentorships, courses, whatever. The real fix is what I'm going to show you in this video. So by the end of it, the fear is gone. So let's get into it. Let me break down how this fear actually show up because it doesn't hit you at one place, it hits you in three. The first place fear show up is outreach. And I want to be clear about how it looks like because it's not what most people describe. It's not that you don't know what to do. You know that you need to send messages, reach out to prospects, start conversation, and that's not the problem, that's the easy part. The problem is you don't do it, and the reason is because somewhere in your head you already decided that it won't work. You already expect the rejection before you even send the first message. So what's the actual point of sending it? Or even worse, you're not really afraid of outreach, of sending message, start conversation, sending value up front. You're just afraid of what comes after, because when the prospect actually responds to you or even likes what you give them up front, it's higher chances that you need to go on a call. And if the call goes well, you might actually land a client. And that's the part that terrifies you the most. So instead of doing outreach, you edit videos for your current clients that you're not happy with, telling yourself that doing good work for clients that doesn't pay you enough or doesn't respect you enough will somehow bring in new clients on its own. So to be honest, I did the exact same thing. For a long time, instead of doing outreach, I was just being focused on the work I already had, thinking that will somehow bring in new work for me. And in most cases I will hit the ceiling because I was working with many agencies, and when they have slow months, I have slow months also. And because I was just being focused on their work, I was stuck there because I have no social proof that I work with some clients because there's agency policies and they're slow months, so I don't have clients, and then I need to find a new agency, and then a new agency comes the same problem, and that's basically what keeps me stuck month after month. The second place where fear show up is actually on a sales calls, and these things caught me off guard because I actually prepared for my sales calls. I had all objections from Instagram Reels and YouTube videos, and I know exactly what to say in which situation. But the moment call starts, I froze. Everything I had prepared just disappeared. I couldn't think straight. The whole thing falls apart, and honestly, it looks awkward. And if this happened to you, I want you to know that this isn't happened because you didn't prepare enough, that you need to start 7 days before the call, start preparing your script, objections. It happens because fear does that. It shut down your brain with all of the information about the call you had. You have the words, but fear doesn't let you find them. Now here's my personal experience that I will share because a lot of people will relate to this. English is not my first language, and when I started doing sales calls, I had to go on a call with someone I didn't know and convince them to give me money in a language that I barely spoke at the time. Basically forgetting words, struggling to explain things that I perfectly understood in my own language. And I'm basically trying to sound confident while panicking about the grammar, very specific words on a sales calls. And when I think about it, that was terrifying. Because to be honest, every call feels like an exam I hadn't studied for. The third place in which fear show up is fulfillment. And this is the big one and also the one that most people want to admit. The thought of what if I take their money and can't deliver? What if they ask for a refund? I had this exact fear. As I said, I was being more afraid of disappointing the new client than I was being broke. And the lesson I want to tell you that if you're afraid of fulfillment, you're absolutely destroying everything on the front end, like a lead gen, sales calls, everything, whether you realize it or not. Now the things gets interesting because those three fears doesn't exist separately. They feed each other. When you're afraid of fulfillment, you avoid outreach, and when you avoid outreach, you have a few leads, and when you have only few leads, your every sales calls feel like a life or death situation that you need to close this, which makes you even more nervous and feel desperate for that sales calls, feel more salesy. Because of that, when you actually land a client, you didn't choose which one do you want to work with, so basically you choose the wrong client for you. So you take whoever says yes, not whoever is a fit, and the client who isn't a good fit is impossible to deliver for. So you eventually get bad results, and that bad results confirm your original fear that you can't deliver, and the whole cycle starts again. I call this a fear spiral, and the worst part is that most people stuck in this fear spiral actually had the skills to deliver great results. Their only problem is just working with bad clients, because in every situation you have those clients that are very hard to deliver for, and also the clients that are very easy to deliver for, and then you use that bad results as a proof that you can deliver and actually that you are the problem, when in reality you are not the problem, the client is. So the actually bad cycle you go through, the fear spiral, actually looks like this. Weak offer attracts weak clients. Weak clients equal weak results or no results at all, and no results means even weaker offer. So to break it out of it, you need to fix your offer first, and that's exactly what I'm talking about in the next few minutes. So the fix for outreach isn't a script or beautiful profile, it's just a volume, and the shift perspective is actually this. Doing nothing guarantees nothing. So zero outreach means zero results every single time, no exceptions. And that's for sure. So if I don't send a message, there is a 0 chance, but if I send even one message, there is 1% chance of me actually landing the new client. Once I saw it this way, I start doing more and more outreach. Not with a perfect script, not when I feel ready, but every single day. And the more I send, the less it matters when someone doesn't respond or reject me, because I know that there is always a new people to reach out to. And that's the shift. You need to have this abundance mindset that not every single message needs to work, because you will always have new prospects to reach out to. Outreach stop being scary the moment that you realize this. Set a daily number. Send a minimum 5 hyper-personalized messages every single day. And don't worry about the experience, because you will learn from your mistakes and then adjust as you go. So the goal is to make outreach boring and not important, and not that your life depends on it, because you will send a 5 or 10 or 15 messages a day, and a non-reply means absolutely nothing, because you will always have more and more people to reach out to, more and more people interested in your service or your product. And that attachment is actually what kills the fear of outreach, that abundance mindset. Remove that pressure and outreach will become 10 times easier. And there is 2 things that actually kills the fear of sales calls. That's a preparation and repetition. So the fear of freezing up in the middle of a sales calls actually comes from not knowing who is the person you're talking to, what's their goal, what's their budget, what's their MRR. You don't know anything about it, and you're trying to figure it out while you're also trying to close, which is pretty hard, and that's why you freeze in the first place. And the fix for that is actually building a pre-qualification form in which every prospect, before they schedule a call with you, they will have sets of questions in which you will know their achievements, their social proof, their content, everything about it, so we'll have context, so you actually know the person you're talking to. And that alone removes a lot of nervousness. And here's something counterintuitive. It's absolutely okay and it's very powerful that you said the client that it's actually not a good fit based on all the criteria you had and the answers they give. It's normal, completely normal, that you tell them that there isn't a good fit, and saves you from actually have a bad client that they are very hard to deliver for. And that's what feed the fear fear spiral in the first place. And that kind of honesty is what builds more trust than any sales script whatsoever. So basically, maybe they are not the right fit now, but if you are like very honest with them and they build trust with you, they will eventually, if it's a budget problem, they will wait 2, 3 or 4 months when they have a budget, and they will get on another sales call with you and you will close them because you was the honest guy in the first call and they are respected. And on repetition, there is no shortcut here. Very simply, 10th call is actually much more easier than your 5th call, and your 15th call is much easier than your 10th. And at some point it will just become normal, like just a normal conversation that you have with your friend or anyone. And this one only comes through a lot of repetition, through a lot of failure on sales calls. Now, when it comes to fulfillment, and this is the most important fix, and it's a lot simpler than you think. So you need to build an offer that only qualifies the clients that you can actually help generating the results they want. So not everyone, or not everyone who wants to pay, just the qualified ones. A strong offer does 3 things. First, it targets a specific type of a person, or ICP. It promises a specific measurable results, and it includes a risk reduction or a risk reversal for your clients. A guarantee, a clear timeline, a condition. So instead of saying I do content marketing for coaches, instead say this same thing just more specifically. I help coaches that already generate 20k a month build a YouTube system that gets them to over 30 qualified calls per month every single month. Or if we doesn't fulfill that, we keep working for free until we do. So the offer immediately filters out the people you can help or the people you can help. So the person who just started with 0 audience and 0 revenue, they will know that this isn't for them, and they will try to find things that are for them. But specifically coaches that are doing 20k a month and doesn't have YouTube but have Instagram or something like that, so they will know that this is for them and they will book a call. When your offer is specific, it doesn't attract bad clients, it attracts only serious. Your fear spiral will disappear and you will finally get results and working with people that are set up to success. And one more thing, the price is also a filter. So if you cheap and have lower prices, you will attract bad clients even if you're offer specific. So also, if you do specific offers, raise your prices because the price is also the filter and it will attract a premium clients. First, fix your offer. Make it specific, make it targeted, build a guarantee that only applies to the qualified clients. This immediately changes the person who books a call with you. Then you attack outreach with volume. Stop waiting until you're ready and just set up numbers daily and hit them every single day. And then you walk into sales calls knowing most important information about your prospect because you implement a pre-qualification form. Also, don't be afraid to say no to the client that are not a good fit. You will save yourself from a lot of stress, years of struggling and bad results. The fear doesn't have anywhere to live anymore because the fear feeds on uncertainty and you remove uncertainty in every step. And I will be honest with you, it took me so much time to actually realize this. I just spent a lot of time thinking that I need to sharpen my skills, that I need to learn more softwares, more AI tools, more and more just to learning, instead of just stop that learning phase and just enter the earning phase. So what I actually need is a stop avoiding the action and building an offer that will stop attracting the clients I couldn't help. So that's it, you now have everything to conquer this fear. So the only question is whether you're actually going to use this to conquer that fear. And if you want me and my team to build your entire strategy, to come up with ideas, scripting, editing, building funnels, lead magnets, everything, so that qualified clients start coming at you instead of you chasing them, click the first link in description. Or if you want free resources across my YouTube channel, click the second link in description. That's it for this video. See you guys in the next one. God bless and peace.